guests from different institutions, research scholars and dear students. Really, this is a very happy moment, not only for me as a Vice Chancellor, but for everyone in the university, because as you can see on the dais, we have our Vice Chancellors of our sister universities, who I know that in spite of their very busy schedule, they have traveled all the way from Jammu to Kashmir in order to participate in this very important event. I'm happy that the inaugural has gone very well, and I'm sure all the working sessions which will be conducted for these 3 days will also go on very well. As a Vice Chancellor now of Kashmir University, but I have also been the Dean Students Welfare for a long time, and I remember from small programs we have reached today to a bigger program of celebrating this Environmental Day. I have always, as DSW, collaborated to whomever. I think sometimes the Department of Environmental Sciences, sometimes Zoology, sometimes Earth Sciences. There I have collaborated, and very nicely we used to engage youth and school children in all these types of programs. I am sure Professor Fayaz must have taken care of that also. And it's a very important program, because recommendations will go on how to protect our environment, not only to us in the university, what measures to take in order to protect the environment in the university, but also to the state government. The recommendations will go. They are always looking for that. I am specifically raising this question from the perspective of whether we all, as conscious and responsible inhabitants of planet Earth, have done our bit in this endeavor. When the recommendations will go, I think we'll have to take care of that wherever we have been working. Those recommendations should go. I think this occasion of 15th anniversary of the World Environment Day is an apt occasion to introspect on this and see if we all have fulfilled our part of the commitment, or do we still need to do more. This introspection will lead us to an equally important question, which is how far can we all as ordinary citizens play our role in this endeavor. And this is the most perplexing question that common people are often faced when asked to do their bit to protect the environment or mitigate the impacts of climate change. Here, I think the role of our young students, I always, lay stress on that. Students are the lifeline for any program. Is paramount to see how they can contribute in raising public awareness on how people can contribute to protecting the environment. I have said this previously also on a number of occasions, and we need to have our youth on the forefront of environment campaigns, because the future belongs to them. In fact, I must say here that India's leadership created an exceptional platform of Youth 20 as part of the country's G20 presidency to encourage youth to share their ideas on important issues like environment protection and climate change. Our university was fortunate enough to be a part of the Y20 event on climate change last month, and it was a great success given the active participation of students in the discussions. How our students raised very important questions during the panel discussions offered a great ray of hope. In fact, our Honorable Chancellor, Shri Manoj Sinha ji, only 2 days ago, again complimented the university for organizing the international event with huge participation of delegates and students. This point, why I'm trying to make, is that our youth have to take the command in this fight for environmental protection. Once they will awaken this environmental consciousness in the society, I think the whole society will be a partner in environment protection and do their bit to fulfill their commitments. Third important aspect is that today we all will find how youth are acting as environmental leaders and environmental activists around the globe. We have countless examples of how youth are today making their innovations related to sustainability and finding innovative solutions to new environmental changes. For example, how they are advocating for a shift from plastics to sustainable alternatives. One of the speakers was already addressing it. How they are using traditional practices to transform their daily lifestyles, how they are adopting sustainable transport practices, and how they are promoting sustainability in housing and commercial infrastructure. So this youth advocacy and youth involvement is very important. I'm glad to see that we are organizing this important program in a collaborative manner with Zoological Society of India. In the last 2 months alone, our university has held at least 5 national and international collaborative events related to theme of environmental protection and climate change. On May 25, we had 3 Padma Shri awardees who are scientists of great repute in the country who spoke about disaster resilience in a program which was organized by the Department of Geography. Before that, we had very distinguished scientists from ISRO and institutions of national importance in the country who interacted with our students about climate change. I urge our students to join such programs to learn from the expertise of eminent scientists and see how they can become contributors in this fight for environmental protection. This program related to World Environment Day is coinciding with the 34th All India Congress of Zoology, which again is a very important event for our students from the Department of Zoology, Environmental Science, COD, Microbiology, Biotechnology, and others. I have a firm belief that it is only by way of these collaborative events that we will be able to fulfill our commitments to create a sustainable future. Fortunately, we have our Honorable Vice Chancellors, which I already said, who are sharing dice with us. So it's very important occasion to see how best we can take forward such collaborations. But as I said earlier also, our young students have to be on the driver's seat. With these words, I congratulate Professor Fayaz and his team, our Zoological Society of India, who have chosen our university for this particular program. We do look forward to them for any type of collaborative programs in future, and definitely we'll see how our sister universities in Jammu and our sister universities in Kashmir can come up with the recommendations for our society as well as for the government, because that's very important, and how we can utilize the creativity and visibility of our youth to be involved and to be engrossed in such type of programs. With these words, once again to the all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, dear students, research scholars, and of course all the participants who have traveled all over from the country for being with us. As I said, it's a matter of great satisfaction for me to be at the Vice Chancellor's seat now and see how this World Environment Day has developed or has improved from a small program to such a big national event. Thank you very much.
I think it's a very important event, and I think a very important cause, because not only the government but all the academic institutions across the world today would be celebrating a similar event. In fact, Vardi Lieutenant Governor of J&K is also attending an event today in SKICC, celebrating this particular event. The story we started in 1972 when we started taking a lot of interest in the environment, and a group of intelligentsia gathered in the United Nations and decided that we have only one world and we have to protect it. So it's a very, very important cause. And this particular year, preventing plastic pollution has been made the basic theme. Now the important issue is this, that we have been creating a lot of legislations across the board to prevent plastic pollution. But you must all be knowing that there is some kind of a plastic soup a very large plastic patch in the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean, where a very large area, millions of tons of plastic is just floating on the surface of the sea. And that is a testimony to the greed and the kind of irresponsible behavior that mankind has done. While we are the southern part of the world, the south of the world, or the east part of the world, even today the plastic footprint or the pollution footprint that we produce is very small as compared to a white man, as compared to the Western civilization. However, it has been a sustained period of pollution, and now we have to take the lead. What I would like to say is that our culture, our Eastern culture, or let's say the Indian culture, or the South American culture, or the African culture, we already use very little energy. We use very little plastic. But now gradually, as our culture is changing, we are now moving towards this Swiggy and Zomato culture, where the polythene is increasing. We are utilizing a lot more plastic bottles. The simple cup of coffee, which is taken by most of the Westerners, that produces so much of pollution in the world that simply utilizing a disposable plastic cup can bring about a huge change. When I was Secretary Environment and Forest J&K in 2017-18, I had the pleasure and honor of being able to put a ban on plastic, where we banned plastic of a particular micron. But we know that because of lack of viable alternatives, the industry as well as the Producers Manufacturers Association, they try to push plastic. And unless we as universities and as the intelligentsia, we come up with some viable solutions, some kind of alternatives, whether we talk about use of jute or use of some kind of cotton cloth or ceramics or glass or something like that, this particular problem will continue. Another very important issue is that now plastics are also used in a disguised manner in a lot of other products also, which find their way into the food chain. Not only plastic is going to be lasting for almost 1,000 years in the food chain, but if you look at Himalayas, if you look at Jammu Kashmir also, we are the source of water for the entire Southeast Asia. So here also whatever plastic pollution we are producing will find their way into the water bodies and will continue to be polluting. So I think this is a very suitable and a very nice cause for which University of Kashmir has conducted this program. In fact, I would like that the outcome of the program should be shared with the government, so that some cogent kind of policy measures can be taken by the government. Also, it is important that as these universities are collaborating, I am seeing 3 esteemed vice chancellors on the dais, and also another vice chancellor is perhaps joining on through the video conferencing. It is necessary that universities don't work in silos and they collaborate with each other on these kind of activities and share the policy matters with the government. I am also pleased to announce that this year, out of our departmental budget, we had kept around 5 crore rupees for research and development on specifically waste to energy. In this plastic to energy, or even use of plastics even in road making, like in Manipur, one of the experiment has been made where plastic is being used to make roads. Another example is the dull wheat to energy, or use of chinar leaves to energy. On this we are ready to fund a lot of research projects, and we are collaborating with various universities in this regard. So I would also welcome that University of Kashmir, Central University Kashmir, or Jammu University, if they would like to do any research program on these kind of aspects, we would like to fund it, and we can immediately give sanction of this kind of project. Even some kind of interdisciplinary or inter-university research program can also be encouraged. Another aspect where we really want to work with you is the Achan landfill site in Srinagar. The Achan landfill site is a very big blot on our waste management. We had made a landfill site which should have lasted 25 years. And our average landfill site only lasts for about 3.5 years, because we are not segregating waste. So non-segregated waste is going into Achan, and one after the other we are creating landfill sites. If some kind of a research project can be created at this landfill site where we can utilize the organic waste in a different way, we can pelletize the plastics, and we can segregate the metallic waste, that can also be very good solution. Also, lots of other areas where the forest department in Dachigam has a lot of pine cones and lot of chinar leaf etc. type of residue. If that can be converted into energy. Dull wheat definitely is a big problem, and we have seen during G20 that government has done a very good job in removing the dull wheat. But what happens to the dull wheat after that, and is it converted into biomanure or something like that, is also important. So therefore, there are a lot of funding solutions. As my colleague said, we are ready to support the government, But here, if some of the departments of the university or some other universities would like to fund such research projects, we'll be very happy to do it. Another important aspect is that we should just not celebrate the day and forget about it. The audience, especially the students here, if we are able to make them environment activists and they all take back this cause to their homes, it is very important. Also, I think in every department, irrespective of what the syllabus they are studying, at UG and at PG level, there should be one mandatory paper for environment awareness, so that students are, this particular cause is imbibed into the future generation. And also, other part of my department is renewable energy. So renewable energy also provides a very good alternative to reduce environment pollution. So I am sure in that regard also, whatever support we are giving to the various universities, recently Worthy Chief Secretary approved a program, ambitious program, to completely convert most of the universities and some of our important esteemed schools and colleges into having solar energy rooftop. That we are funding in 100% capacity. So Kashmir University already is leading in this regard. You have almost 60% coverage. Even the IUST, we have supported them to provide 70% coverage. So if you would like any other buildings of the university to be covered this year, we will be doing it 100% funding from the government. So these are the two aspects, and I would wish this particular conference become a big success, and this cause goes a long way to the civil society, so that the purpose of this particular conference is met. Thank you.
I would like to begin my introductory talk with a famous quote of Rabindranath Tagore. The highest education is that which does not merely give us information, but makes a life in harmony with all existence. I strongly believe that Tagore's idea of imparting true education had the inherent seed of sustainability much before the term sustainable development was officially coined in late 20th century. As you all know, the harmonization of society's development with the planet's environment is the basis foundation of sustainable development. We all know that ZSI is committed to spread the concept of sustainable development nationally by pointing out the interdependence of scientific research, production, and environmental limits. Today, on the eve of two historic events, the 34th All India Congress of Zoology and the World Environment Day 2023, celebration being held at the State University of Kashmir. It is with immense pleasure and privilege that I am to speak before this renowned group of academics, researchers, and environmentalists gathered here from throughout India. In this auspicious occasion, further, our aim is to continuously keep the wheels of science progress in motion through science. Themed group as this AICZ, as well as it's our duty to safeguard and maintain the environment for our future generation. Beat the plastic pollution. The focus of this year's World Environment Day calls for transformative changes to policies and choices that enable cleaner, greener, and sustainable living in harmony with nature. It will focus on the need to live sustainably in harmony with nature and the possibilities for shifting to a greener lifestyle through both policies and individual choices. This prestigious organization, the University of Kashmir, is hosting the All India Congress of Zoology, which offers the priceless forum for zoologists, scientists, and researchers to interact and share ideas, information, and experiences. This gathering will certainly encourage cooperation and spark creative thinking, which will help advance our knowledge and ability to conserve our planet Earth, and especially the animals. Holding these two events on such a large scale provides ample evidences of the University of Kashmir's dedication to advancing scientific inquiry and developing the next generation of zoology leaders as well as brainstorming on current pertinent issues plaguing the world. Due to anthropogenic factors, climate change, biodiversity loss, and human activity, the environment of our planet is changing quickly. We must acknowledge the crucial role that environmental science and zoology plays in comprehending and addressing these issues. Zoology, or the scientific study of the animals, help us understand the intricate relationships between species, how they interact with their habitat, and how human activity affects these fragile ecosystems. We learn about the interdependence of all living things on our earth via zoology. We are fortunate to have among us today eminent specialists, esteemed academics, and skilled researchers who have devoted their careers for the study and preservation of our abundant biodiversity. Their never-ending labor, steadfast dedication, and groundbreaking research have made it possible to comprehend our world better.
The entire world is celebrating World Environment Day. In fact, it reminds us that in what grave situation we have reached to. We are really on the hot plate. About 2 decades back, the climate change, global warming, was academic discussions. But now, the burden of this climate change, global warming, is being realized, experienced by a common man. We just watched one of the movie. We could see that how a farmer, the apple grower, the common man, they are expressing the concerns about. They are really at loss, they are losers. Friends, I'm happy that Ministry of Kashmir, the Environment Department of Environment, in collaboration with JDSI and Indian Science Congress Association, we are here to deliberate upon. In fact, there is a very serious situation there. According to the latest report, one of the estimate, in coming 40 years, almost, since many people are here related with the fisheries, so I will mention this data, that almost 40% food supply is going to be curtailed because of the global warming and the climate change. It's going to create a big chaos in the supply chain, food supply chain. Likewise, just today I was going through a Dainik Jagran, one of the articles, even today, the birds, they generally prepare their nest before their reproductive activity, and that generally prepares in the summer. This year, this prolonged monsoon, rather rain, I don't say the monsoon, but the rain, they have not been able to make their nest. So obviously their reproductive activity will be influenced, geoparadized. So likewise, every component of this universe on the earth, they are being greatly affected. Of course, it's a global phenomenon. It's a geological and geographical phenomenon. Not only this, the earlier also in the past, almost 5-6 times the global warming has come, the ice age has come, the situation has worsened, a new type of thing has come. But we have to think over. We cannot sit idly. We have to think over how to mitigate the situations. That's very important. We can't change the situations. But in a personal capacity, we have to come forward. We have to educate the society, the learned the scientific community has to come out with some solutions. My previous speaker was speaking many things. I don't want to repeat. Saurabh Singh told you, he just drew our attention that what are those areas where we can work on, where the government is ready to support us. So I appeal to the young generation, under the mentorship of the senior person sitting in front, they will come forward and they will do something. It's our responsibility, social responsibility, to preserve our ecology, preserve our environment. It's for our interest. It's not for us. It's in fact for us. Our next generation is going to be in great danger. We have to think over it.
I would like to congratulate the Department of Environmental Science, University of Kashmir, and Geological Society of India, JSI, for organizing this Congress on the eve of World Environmental Day. My job is GG. My previous speakers have already pointed out frightening challenges before the world with respect to changes course in environment. I would not like to repeat because you all are aware about the challenges, whether that is the air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution, population explosion, depleting natural resources, climate change, depleting animal biodiversity, so on and so forth. The question is that these issues can be addressed in isolation by animal science department or by environmental science department, or the time has come. We must dissolve the boundaries of the subjects, boundaries of the departments, and the social sciences, mathematical sciences, all that should come together to address such issues, because this is not only the domain of environmental science, the domain of animal science. So I think this conference, this Congress would come out with a resolution with respect to that we must dissolve the boundaries of that.
हमारे ऋषि मुनि हजारों बरस तक जीते थे, स्वस्थ रहते थे, निरोग रहते थे। क्या कारण था? उसका कारण सिंपल था। वो जल की पूजा करते थे, वन की पूजा करते थे, सूर्य की पूजा करते थे, पानी की पूजा करते थे, धरती की पूजा करते थे, क्योंकि उनको पता था कि यही पंच तत्व हमारे जीवन का आधार है। मित्रों, अगर आप इस पंच तत्व को देखेंगे, व्हाट इज गॉड, भगवान जो है ये 5 शब्द से बना है। भौ से भूमि, गौ से गगन, बा से वायु, आ से अग्नि, नौ से नीर। दिस इज माय गॉड। और इसी को हमारे पूर्वजों ने बिल्कुल आत्मसात किया और वो बिल्कुल जिंदा रहते थे। मित्रों, जिस दिन हम समझ लेंगे कि ये पंच तत्व हमारे भगवान हैं, अगर भगवान, पानी हमारा भगवान है, प्रदूषित नहीं करेंगे, वायु हमारे भगवान है, प्रदूषित नहीं करेंगे, और इस तरह के जितने भी स्टेप्स हैं ये हम लोग ले सकते हैं और हम लोग अपने जीवन को सुखमय बना सकते हैं। मित्रों, अभी ये सारे जो कन्फ्लिक्ट विश्व में हो रहे हैं, किसके लिए? इसी पंच तत्व के लिए है। सारा कन्फ्लिक्ट का जड़ पंच तत्व है। चाइना को पड़ोसी देश की भूमि चाहिए, अमेरिका को हर एक कंट्री में हर एक जगह चाहिए मिलिट्री बेस बनाने के लिए। अभी जो कन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहा है यूक्रेन एंड रसिया का, करीब 15 महीने से ये कन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है, और 15 महीने में कम से कम अराउंड 6 मिलियन टन से एक्सप्लोसिव ये यूज किए गए, और उसी मात्रा में करीब करीब गन पाउडर का उपयोग हुआ, और इसके लिए व्हीकल का मूवमेंट हुआ। तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि वायु की स्थिति क्या हुई। मित्रों, एक शब्द हमने सुना था, जीनोसाइड, नरसंहार। आज एक नया टर्म आया है, इकोसाइड, दैट इज कोलैप्स ऑफ द इकोलॉजिकल सिस्टम। मित्रों, जहाँ भी ये अभी उदाहरण के तौर पर जो आप यूक्रेन और इसका देख लीजिएगा, अगर पानी में गिरा तो एक्चुअली दैट गॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू एक्वाटिक डेजर्ट, मीन्स लाइफ बिल्कुल खत्म हो गया। अगर भूमि पर गिरा तो वहाँ फिर आने वाले 10-20 वर्षों में कुछ भी पैदा नहीं होगा। वायु तो प्रदूषित हो ही चुका है, इतने ज़्यादा लेड भर चुके हैं वायु में कि लोग बीमारी से जूझ रहे हैं। मित्रों, बहुत डेंजरस है, ये युद्ध नहीं होना चाहिए और इसी को हम लोग कहते हैं इकोसाइड। तो ये इकोसाइड एक नया टर्म आ गया है, हमको इसको रोकना है। जीनोसाइड के तरह ये भी काफ़ी खतरनाक है और आतंकवादी जो घटनाएं हो रही हैं ये भी पर्यावरण के लिए घातक है, क्योंकि वे भी एक्सप्लोसिव यूज कर रहे हैं। मित्रों, स्टेफन्स ने कहा था मरने के पहले 2013 में कि मनुष्य ने विनाश का तो सामान बना लिया है, लेकिन उससे बचने का कोई तरीका नहीं ईजाद किया है। हालांकि उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि 100 बरस से ज़्यादा ये पृथ्वी हैबिटेबल नहीं है। अगर आदमी को सरवाइव करना है तो उसको दूसरे प्लेनेट पर शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा और ये प्रक्रिया ऑलरेडी ऑन है। मित्रों, हम आज इस मंच से जो अगर पत्रकार हैं तो उनको मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि विज्ञान का काम है विकास, न कि विनाश। सब साइंटिस्ट विकास का तो काम करें, लेकिन विनाश के काम से अपने को अलग करें। वो एटम बम नहीं बनावे या ऐसे एक्सप्लोसिव नहीं बनावे जिससे कि मानव की हानि होती है।
I, on behalf of my Honorable Vice Chancellor and University of Kashmir, I welcome you all to this beautiful campus of University of Kashmir. And I congratulate the Department of Environmental Sciences and the Zoological Society of India for giving University of Kashmir a chance to be a part of this event. We received a lot of messages today. In fact, University Grants Commission is also celebrating World Environmental Day. It is being held in a virtual mode at 12:45 probably, and celebrations are there, and I hope that the celebrations will culminate into a successful recommendations from the different bodies and different panel discussions throughout the country. At University of Kashmir, you know that we try to save the environment in a way whatever we want, whatever we the capacity have. You have seen the beautiful campus, which is a walled campus, and we don't claim that we are 100% plastic free campus, but we try to minimize the use of plastic and other non-degradable use of any item in the University of Kashmir. And our good number of departments, whether it is zoology or whether it is botany or whether it is the environmental science or CORD, and even our departments from social science, whether it is Department of Social Work, Department of Sociology, Women's Studies, we try to create an environment where we propagate or we promote the conservation of environment on the universe or at the University of Kashmir. Under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilofer Khan, we try to do whatever we want to, whatever we could do in our scarce resources to help all the departments, whether those are science departments of the University of Kashmir or the social science departments of Kashmir, or we have a number of extension departments in the form of DSW or the DLL and other departments, which particularly, because we have in the lab of this university we have a Dal Lake, which is beautiful and which needs to be conserved, and we try to do our little bit what the University of Kashmir can do.
I, on behalf of the Department of Environmental Science and Zoology of Kashmir and the Zoological Society of India, wholeheartedly welcome all the dignitaries on the days of the days. We are deeply indebted to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ma'am, Professor Nilofer Khan, who has been a strong force in venturing into such type of activities. We welcome you, ma'am, and we are highly thankful to you for supporting all our initiatives. We have with us two Vice Chancellors of the two universities of Jammu, Jammu University and Kerala Students of Jammu, who drove all along Jammu to Srinagar by road to make it that they join this inaugural function. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We have with us Professor Pandey, Professor Vijayalakshmi Saxena and Dr. Ashok Saxena, the past presidents of Indian Science Congress Associations, have always joined our programs as and when we have requested them, and they have never denied us. Thanks for giving us this opportunity. And then our worthy registrar, who stands like a pillar behind all activities, and as and when we have some problem, he immediately gives us a solution. Thank you, sir, for helping us out at very crucial junctures.